I think it's one of the greatest things ever happened in our community in the last few years.
They've even named a school after Judge Paul Brown in Beaumont. But now he's really excited about a new place.
Welcome to our new building.
It's called the Sarah Street Wellness Facility. And in this community, it's big news.
Talk about a long time coming. There's an organization called the Sarah Street Wellness Group. They wanted to continue the legacy of that YMCA.
This building has stood the test of times for this community.
The old historic YMCA building may be gone, but the 28,000 square foot building which once housed it will now breathe new life, where the neediest residents in Beaumont can get a whole range of medical and psychological help.
I'm very excited that the Sarah Street Wellness Group is actually developing.
That's because School Superintendent Shannon Allen knows full well the need is great for her 17,000 students, especially in COVID times.
I see so much struggle for our students. Right now, post-pandemic or at the end of the pandemic, we hope our students are coming back to school every day, but they're dealing with so much social, emotional, so much trauma, and they're struggling with making good choices.
And we had a tragic reminder in the last few days why early intervention is vital when kids act out. In Michigan, a 15-year-old gunman shot and killed classmates at point-blank range. And the folks behind Sarah Street want to help make sure something like that doesn't ever happen at one of Beaumont's 27 school campuses. They have a contract to help Beaumont ISD.
So the vision is that we will have a dedicated space at every single school, and the student will be able to participate with one-on-one counseling sessions.
The man behind this much-needed medical facility is Houstonian Troy Marsaw.
And the vision that Mr. Marsaw has for this facility is a phenomenal one that will definitely meet the needs where we are in our community.
If you're a Dolce Vino Consulting viewer, you'll likely recognize him. Marsaw has been waging a David and Goliath war to expose the greed of the state's largest insurance company for needy children, and we're on his side.
Texas Children's Health Plan. It's the best decision a family can make.
Sure, they sound like they care in the TV commercials, but you're paying them to care. $980 million in tax money, nearly $1 billion a year to make sure they take care of our kids.
Well, it's a scam. If you really want to know the truth, it's a scam.
HISD schools had a contract with Marsaw's counseling service, but TCHP had moved them out of their network and was routinely denying requests for help with kids, even though so many kids needed help.
They received, over $980 million last year? So you're only talking about only 2% of the kids actually come forward with mental health needs. Are you that greedy that you won't even allow that 2% to be seen?
Then we got a secretly recorded audio tape. A TCHP whistleblower recorded a secret meeting of those insurance folks, which sounded like proof their denials were no accident. And of course, we played it for you.
They're an out-of-network provider, so in my mind, they're automatically, it's null and void.
TCHP, they ran to the courthouse to try to silence Troy Marsaw. The insurance giant got its high-priced lawyer Carlos Rayner to try and stop us too. We further request you remove the video from the internet. You're just not going to talk to me? I mean, you send me all these nasty letters. At least you should talk to me when you have a chance. I'm right here. You may not know this, but I can write fancy letters also, and I sent one to their lawyer. Quote it, "Let me make one thing crystal clear," I told the big, scary lawyers. "I am wholly unimpressed by the bullying tactics in your letter." So on this anniversary of our playing of that video, let's play some more of that audio tape.
They are getting smarter, right? Because we were previously denying therapy. You have no diagnosis, so now they're asking for this.
That audio tape exposed the game TCHP was playing. They were denying behavioral and mental health claims under the guise there was no clinical documentation for what was wrong. Think about it. These counselors weren't mind readers. TCHP knew they couldn't diagnose what was wrong with a child unless they actually saw them. And we checked. Texas Children's Hospital, they don't guess about kids' mental health. They tell people to seek a consultation as soon as possible. Apparently there was a different plan for out-of-network providers.
So now they're asking for this.
Right, I would challenge the smartness, but because...
Maybe that's insurance company humor.
Of all the insurance companies in Texas, that deal with Medicaid, only one is not allowing that to happen. And so you have to wonder why.
We already told you that TCHP had been fined $1.9 million since 2015, had the largest number of complaints for saying no, even though they got more money than any other insurance company from the government. Frustrated parents reached out to us.
Would you like the state to investigate why the Texas Children's Health Plan says no?
Very much so.
Help them to move their feet. Like, I feel like they're really dragging their feet.
It was those mothers' complaints that convinced us to file this formal complaint to the Health Department OIG last March. They promised an investigation, but since then, silence.
I'm glad that someone has stepped up, and I thank you for stepping up.
And we hope TCHP would change to be like their commercials claim they are. But then we found out about that Sarah Street Center opening in Beaumont. Before we show you what TCHP has done now, we want to remind you of the need in Beaumont from the school superintendent.
More and more kids are coming to us with adverse, situations that they face in their lives, and they need that support.
All but one insurance company welcomed Sarah Street into their insurance network with open arms. Guess who didn't? Texas Children's Health Plan.
Even today, we're still being denied authorizations to treat children and adolescents, even today by TCHP.
And wait till you see why. We note that Sarah Street LLC is owned and or affiliated with Mr. Troy Marsaw, this letter from TCHP read. His counseling services are currently engaged in an ongoing legal dispute with TCHP. The Office of Inspector General should take note of this nonsense. If you go to court to challenge the big bad insurance company for wrongly denying legitimate medical claims, they're going to punish you. TCHP's policy precludes network participation of a provider that is affiliated with providers with an existing legal dispute with TCHP. 2 years ago, we first told you that Houston kids were being cheated. And Troy Marsaw wasn't the only counselor who told us that. You think these kids get cheated?
Yes, of course. They're not getting the help that they need.
Is the state health department really going to keep paying $1 billion a year to TCHP and then do nothing while this same sort of nonsense now happens to the nearly 40,000 kids on Medicaid in Jefferson County?
The government has their play in this. You would think that Texas children, the people that care, where is that caring spirit? Where is the heart?